A highly dangerous police chase, allegations of rape and kidnapping, and a suspect with a criminal record so long it leaves some to wonder if Minnesota is the land of 10,000 second chances.
Speeds at 70, he's driving in the wrong oncoming lane.
Jeffrey Groves speeding through traffic, going the wrong way.
This is probably the most dangerous thing that could happen.
Marshals chasing a kidnapped suspect, I think sexual assault suspect as well.
Running from accusations shocking in their brutality, the rape and kidnapping of an elderly woman.
He's following the westbound lane on the bridge.
But as this scene unfolded, there was a group of people who weren't shocked.
No, not at all.
Because his many previous victims already knew this man was dangerous.
He's a very violent man.
Jimmy Fogel's case against Jeffrey Groves is just a few lines on a criminal record stretching back 3 decades. The charges, he says, of harassment and stalking don't do justice to the terror he felt when Groves lived across the street.
What did he threaten?
Kill. Just to kill my wife, kill my dogs.
Court records show Groves punched Fogel, splattered dog feces on the porch. Jimmy says Groves even lit his lawn on fire.
With all of his threats, I had to go out and get a license to carry because I was that frightened for my safety and that of my wife.
Groves would plead guilty to misdemeanors and be sentenced to 6 months in the county workhouse and receive 2 years probation as long as he stayed law-abiding.
But then a development you'll see play out again and again. Groves violated his probation by breaking the law, and as a punishment, got work release and probation again.
That was the part that absolutely mystified me, how he could go on and on and on, and basically the system didn't stop him.
Over the next few years, more arrests, another restraining order against Groves.
It was pretty scary. I mean, when you have to, make sure all your doors and windows are locked.
Prison time for burglary. Probation again for a theft case. And an arrest that same year for terrorizing his live-in girlfriend and her kids. She said Groves was destroying her home, leaving dog feces, sending her threatening text messages trying to extort sex. This time, Groves violated orders for protection 3 times. Each one a felony that sentencing guidelines show should have carried prison time. But again, he was given what Judge Roseanne Nathanson called a huge break. KARE 11 obtained the transcripts from sentencing. Judge Nathanson sentenced Groves to some local workhouse time and probation instead of committing him to 30 months in prison like the guidelines called for. Why? She said he expressed remorse and was, get this, particularly amenable to probation. A year later, when Groves contacted his victim again despite a court order not to, Judge Thomas Gilligan again found he was amenable to probation.
Amenable to probation. This guy, who had violated nearly every probation he'd ever been granted, who by 2017 had racked up 9 felonies, 9 domestic violence-related misdemeanors, many while on probation. 6 different people had had orders of protection against him. We wondered, how often does this happen?
Unless it's an extremely serious crime, the system is going to go with probation.
Former Ramsey County prosecutor Susan Gertner says Minnesota policymakers have decided that probation, not prison, is the way to handle the vast majority of cases. And the numbers bear that out. A KARE 11 analysis of 10 years of court records finds a steady increase in repeat probations, where someone like Groves, who already had a felony conviction, faced prison for a new crime, but was only given jail or probation. Up to nearly 1,000 cases in 2018.
So when people who are victims look at this and say, how in the heck did this happen? What would your response as a former prosecutor be?
It's been taken much too long for crimes like stalking and harassment and other kinds of very scary behavior to be taken seriously.
So back to the Groves case. After that break in 2017, what happened next? He failed drug tests, failed to show up to probation appointments, and yes, committed another crime, receiving stolen property. A crime that if probation had been revoked immediately would have put Groves in prison this summer before he allegedly raped a defenseless woman.
He's riding the shoulder. I'm going to try and sit him at the bottom.
Before he ran from police.
The vehicle is in the ditch, smoking.
He couldn't escape them. Grove's victims hope this time he won't escape justice.
Get him off the street. He's a threat.
Why didn't judges follow the guidelines? The judges who sentenced Grove's cases wouldn't comment on their decisions. This time, for rape and kidnapping, Groves faces decades in prison. Those cases are still pending. Prosecutors, though, have already indicated they will ask for a harsher sentence. Julie and Randy?